What's up, everybody? This is Fray, bringing you a new audio commentary, copyright 2006, WCR, so do not steal our property. This game is going to be Undead vs. Night Elf, Sweet vs. Moon. If you don't know them, I don't know. I guess I can't explain it to you then. So yeah, 2-minute mark. Watch this from Sweet's point of view, and let's actually go ahead and get this game going. So hurry up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alright, this is an early Altar build. Actually, I believe we went Altar Ziggurat. There's a few advantages to this. You get a little bit less, let's see, I think you get your lumber going a little bit slower because you get your ghouls out slower. But the advantage is, one, that if you see your opponent going Demon Hunter, you can skirt your Death Knight around whatever path the Demon Hunter takes and go slash coil some of his wisps in his base before he comes and takes all of your mana away. Whereas if you do the later Altar build, which would be like a Crypt Ziggurat Altar kind of thing, you're actually going to have Demon Hunter pretty much at your base by the time your Death Knight comes out, so you're really not going to have much fun in comparison. You also get to do things like this nice little harass that Sweet is about to pull. What you do, I actually split them into 3 control groups. I get my Death Knight, Skeleton number 1, and Skeleton number 2. And what you do is you send the skeleton after, or the skeletons after his wisps, but you keep them spread out so that one detonate can't actually kill both of them. The Night Elf player, I mean, obviously, it's a very rare case when Night Elf players haven't teched by this point. They usually tech very fast, and any wisps that you can take away from them while they're teching, any wood wisps, are going to be wood wisps that they're not going to be able to rebuild for a very long time. It's kind of like when somebody kills your acolytes in the middle of tech, but it's not quite that bad. But it still sucks for the Night Elf player, because pretty much all of Night Elf's best strategies, like Mass Bears or even Mass Dryads, actually do require quite a bit of lumber to pull off, and wisps are easy to kill. So have yourself a free-for-all with the things. I mean, you know, just do it. So that actually ended up being a very nice harass. It kept Moon. He basically had to run back to his base and use his army to try and kill off the skeletons, as opposed to, you know, so he didn't have to use detonate, because as I explained, he really can't afford to be dropping any excess wisps at this point because he's in the middle of his tech. Also, while Sweet continues to harass Moon, he's going to pull his ghouls out and do some multitask creeping, the intent of which is to get his Death Knight up to level 2, because any time that you want to play aggressively with your ghouls against a Night Elf player, which you will almost always want to do, it is very important that you get your Death Knight to level 2 before you really start fighting much, because it is a lot harder for the Night Elf player to like micro his archers out of danger if you have the speed aura for the Death Knight. Plus you also get that extra little bit of hit point recovery, which never hurts. But generally, yeah, that Death Knight aura is, well, yeah, it's almost imbalanced. I kind of wish they'd nerf it so I didn't always have to use the goddamn Death Knight. But anyway, so what Sweet did here is he grabbed himself a Naga second. This is, I asked Canuck about it. Canuck, I don't know how to say it, but he recommended that that going Naga second is useful against the Beastmaster or the Dark Ranger, and that it is not so good against a Warden or a Demon Hunter, because they will have the tendency to kick the crap out of your Naga. I don't know why Sweet didn't bring a Dust of Appearance. He would have gotten an archer kill there that otherwise got away from him. Maybe he just forgot, maybe he didn't have money, I'm not really sure. But anyway, the archer ended up dropping anyhow. Moon tried to get his own Naga here to offset Sweet's Naga. I think he was hoping to probably get a kill on it, or if nothing else to just pick off a bunch of ghouls. For the record, this strategy does work perfectly well against against a player that is using the panda. Often you can focus down the panda and get a kill on it. The other thing is if you look back in Sweet's base, he's now building fiends. He's actually not going to really build too many more ghouls during this part of the game. So basically, as his ghouls start to get wounded, he's going to send them back to his base, as you would do. Like if your opponent went panda, you'd kind of skirmish with the panda for a little while, try to pick off some archers, and then after he got a couple of breath of fires off, you pretty much need to send most of your ghouls home at that point. But thanks to the fact that you are bringing in fiends as reinforcement, you would still have the ability to make a fairly strong push and not leave your Night Elf opponent alone. The deal being that this is right around where the Night Elf has hit Tier 2, and he wants to do two things at this point. He wants to get an expansion up, and he wants to build 2 lures. Sweet wasn't able to cancel the lures in this case because Moon's base happened to be in his army at the time, or Moon's army happened to be in his base at the time. However, usually if you've lost track of the Night Elf player and they are off clearing an expansion or something like that, at this point when you go for the Naga Fiend strategy, you can often cancel his Ancients of Lore for quite a long time. And if you take the Fog of War off, you can see, since Moon opted for being in his base and was able to keep his Ancients of Lore. However, he hasn't actually cleared an expansion yet, and I think, as we all know, Night Elf can win against undead without an expansion, but is fairly difficult for them, despite the fact that they have dryads, which are really unfair in the sense that if you try to run away from them, you simply cannot, as you are seeing happen right now. Yeah, so, damn it, make those damn dryads cost more in the next patch, Blizzard, please. And nerf Unholy Aura while you're at it. That way we'll all be even. Okay, so yeah, now we've got Naga, Fiends, a Death Knight. A few ghouls are still in the fight, but as the game goes on, they're actually, the ghouls are really going to kind of get phased out. And is this starting to look familiar to anybody? And if it's not, I'll give you a tip. The third hero is going to be a Lich with an Orb of Corruption. Does this look anything to you guys like what Philbot used to do before people figured out that they could beat his early creeping by expanding all over the place? Yeah, I think it does. So what this is going to become in the later part of the game is really like very exactly what Philbot